heist is actually about a ninja type of heroine on a mission. So in the first heist, you can see her stealing diamonds. And in the second heist, so Heist to the Encounter, we show what she's going to do with them.
So in close cooperation with the company Dailymax and JVC, we make the sequel of the Heist movie. And due to the fact that the director-owner is a scientist and also was already involved in an early stage with the development of the LS300, he wanted to make a high-end production with this camcorder.
Actually, we didn't choose the shots to make the camera shine. It just we took the shots we needed to tell our story, and the camera just did a terrific job with that.
Actie! Doe! Actie!
Well, my role as a ninja. So I invented the character with Werner, so of course I wanted to play that role. I totally knew what I wanted her to do, the ninja, and I definitely wanted to carry that sword. So Werner and I weren't always on the same page. When we started writing scripts and talking about the characters, he actually wanted a beautiful woman in a long dress, like a ball gown, because he wanted that slow motion dramatic effect, you know, with the wind under it and stuff. But I just wanted a badass warrior.
Oké, ziet er goed uit.
Yeah, big badass. So I wrote the script with Werner, but there was a difference between us two. He was more about the specific shots and how he wanted to make it look, and I was more about the storyline and the characters and how I wanted them to look.
And we thought of making a movie that would demonstrate what the GY-LS300 could do. Which was obviously a production in 1080p, but also in 4K. But we decided for the first film to go in 1080p because we could then do slow motion and normal motion. And we had a story, so we could combine a lot of shots with short focal depth to demonstrate the capabilities of the camera.
So we filmed the first heist in 1080p, but to make Heist 2 we actually had another reason, and that's because we had the possibility to film in 4K.
You have a lot of detail in the walls and small shadows and pieces coming off, and well, a lot of structure and detail, and 4K captures that pretty well, obviously.
Yeah, I was very lucky that I was invited on the set on the movie of Heist, and so I could see by myself how the crew is working with the camera and also with all the equipment around it, and I was so happy to see that they were so glad to work with the LS300, because the cameraman has not to look on the way he was working. He instantly feels, oh, this is a JVC camcorder. The menu looks the same, the buttons are on the right place, the robustness is there. He knows where he's working with. He has a good feeling. He knows this is JVC.
One of the features that was very important to us and that made it very easy to work with the camera is the fact that it has an S35 sensor. So whichever lens you put on there, you know exactly which kind of view it will give you. But also it had the MFT mount, it has the MFT mount, so you can with an adapter put pretty much any lens out there on it, which is a feature we used quite extensively, especially in the making of HEIST too. Most of it was shot with PL mount lenses, but some other shots we needed just a special shot and just another lens that we didn't have in PL, for instance, and then we went for another mount. It's all very easy.
Misschien als we hem aan. Kom op.
We beginnen met een shot zo nu.
Ja.
Jij gaat goed acteren.
Ja, nee.
We gaan nu ineens over naar een shot waar jij met een zwaard tegen de armen die kruisen staat. Dus dat doen we er zijn twee shots die we uit datzelfde shot halen. Hè? Dus het eerste is gewoon een rack focus. Dus we beginnen focus op u en de focus gaat naar u. Dus we kijken over uw schouder mee met uw zwaard.
Our president, Mr. Kawahara, said, I want to create a new product with combining the individual sister companies we have within our group. And AltaSense is the manufacturer of this new 35mm sensor.
We get a lot of pre-production models here to test and to see what they can do. And on paper they all look good, but this one really convinced while working with it.
The cooperation between our sister company AltaSense and JVC is so strong that we are convinced that we created a benchmark in the market. I mean, if you look to the affordability, but also on the other hand quality, it's unbelievable what the factory has done.
In low budget productions there generally isn't the availability of a big crew, nor is there a big budget, obviously. I think the way we produce those two movies reflect that, and that's probably how a lot of customers of the JVC will be using the camera.
We actually worked with a very small crew, so sometimes we were at 6, but then there were some shots that me and Werner did together and there was nobody else around. Also for the pre-productions it were just Werner and me. So
being on the set, seeing the camera on the set and seeing what they could do with it, I was so surprised that it's beyond imagination what you can do with it.
Anissa?
I believe in shooting close to the end result that you want. So instead of doing it like the classical way in big productions, being shooting as flat as possible or raw, and then getting in post-production the end result you want, I think it's more suitable for small productions, especially productions that need to move along fast, that you can shoot pretty close to the end result you want, and which is perfectly possible with a camcorder like the JVC GY-LS300. You make the settings as close to what you want in camera, so they're actually, you need to have that baseline so you know what to work towards, and you still have enough room for a little tweaking so you can make the whole all shots match.
The heart of our camera is the new 35mm CMOS sensor, which is actually a 4K plus sensor, and we're so proud that we could create this together as one company, as one JVC Kenwood group company is unique, and also for the first time. And we're entering with this camera a whole new market, the 35mm large sensor market. And as I've heard and I've seen on the set, people are very happy to work with the product and the quality of it.
Oh yes.
In this kind of workflow, you can shoot pretty close to the end result you envisaged. So you have some pretty clear thoughts on how some shots should look, and you can get them pretty much straight away. Also, due to the compact and light form factor of the camera, it was easy to do some shots that would otherwise have been impossible.
I mean, it's so light, I can even hold it by myself. But I don't know if you know it, but the sword shot, we made it with the LS300 attached on it.
You always have some shots in your mind. I'm gonna do it this way, I'm gonna do it that way. You have some ideas, and some things pretty focused already, how you want it to be. Some things are still pretty vague. One of the shots I had in my mind was the shot over the blade of our superheroine. She swung the blade from right to left, and we wanted to have a shot looking over the blade, looking towards her opponent whenever the blade came to a halt, which would be something that would normally only be possible or easily be possible with some kind of action sports camera. But now we could rig the camera and use it pretty easy. So that's one of the perks of having a compact and lightweight camera. That still could deliver this quality.
Actually, I was very surprised on the set. What I saw over there is that we had this take with the samurai sword, and normally you use a compact camcorder for this take. But we used the LS300 for it because it's so compact, it's robust, that it was possible to use our LS300.
klaar? Ja.
I would love to make a third heist. We also have a lot of ideas, and actually Heist 2 is also an open-ended story, so we can go everywhere.